The Great Smoky Mountains stretch along the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. Its close proximity to multiple towns like Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Townsend make the Great Smoky Mountains the most visited national park in America. Despite the crowds, there are still plenty of things to do in this incredible park. Hiking through the luscious forests, splashing in the waterfalls, or standing at the edge of the most spectacular overlooks on the East Coast are just a few of the great things to do. Throughout the year, the mountains are blanketed in a smoke-like natural fog, which gives the area its name. In this video, we're going to cover some of the top things to do in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. From the best hiking trails to the most scenic drives and impressive waterfalls, there's something to do for everyone. Start by exploring the Cades Cove area. If you want to see some wildlife, then there's no better place than Cades Cove. The open valley surrounded by mountains is one of the best opportunities to see white-tailed deer, black bears, coyotes, turkey, and other animals. Be sure to arrive early, because your best chance to see the wildlife is during sunrise in the early morning hours. Not only is Cades Cove a fantastic place to view nature, but the area also has the widest variety of historic buildings within the National Park Service. Dating back to 1818, when the Europeans settled the area, you can find 3 churches, a working mill, several log houses, and numerous other 18th and 19th century structures. An 11-mile one-way loop is the perfect way to drive around Cades Cove and see the scenery and wildlife right from your car. Head out for a hike from Cades Cove area. Some of the most picturesque hikes in the park begin at Cades Cove. The Abrams Falls Trail is a 5-mile out-and-back hike that leads you to a 20-foot-high waterfall. It is one of the most impressive in the park. The waterfall has a large, deep pool of water at its base, which is perfect for cooling your feet after a hike. While in the area, don't forget about the Cades Cove Nature Trail. This is another easy hike that's especially beautiful in fall, when you can see a brilliant mix of orange, red, and yellow leaves falling from the treetops. Climb to the top of Chapmans Dome. The tallest peak in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is Chapmans Dome. The observation tower located at the summit of Chapmans Dome offers panoramic views of the Smoky Mountains and beyond. On clear days, the view from the top of the tower reaches as far as 100 miles. While the Chapmans Dome observation tower is open all year, you might have trouble driving there depending on the season and the weather. In fact, the road leading to the tower usually closes between December and March. In addition to the trail that leads directly to the summit, many other popular hikes begin on Chapmans Dome Road. Specifically, a portion of the Appalachian Trail runs across Chapmans Dome, and that point marks the tallest peak along the entire trail from Maine down to Georgia. Speaking of the Appalachian Trail, you might be surprised to hear that 71 miles of the Appalachian Trail passes through Great Smoky Mountains National Park. For most backpackers, trekking the 71-mile portion takes about a week. However, the hike can be completed in sections using trailheads at the Newfound Gap or Chapmans Dome, which note the end point and cut the length of the trip in half. Those who walk the Appalachian Trail move forward by finding and walking alongside a series of blazes, which you can find typically painted on rocks, wooden posts, and trees. The blazes are made with white paint and are 2 inches across and 6 inches tall. Blue blazes indicate side paths that take you to shelters or showers. Splash in the waterfalls. It's hard to rate the best waterfalls in the Smokies because there are so many good ones. Grotto Falls is unique because it's easily accessible, and you can walk right behind the water and view it from every angle. This is also one of the most beautiful hikes in the park, which takes travelers through an old hemlock hardwood forest. Laurel Falls is the most popular waterfall in the park. It's an easy hike, only 2.3 miles round trip, but it drops over 80 feet in 2 picturesque sections. The tallest single drop waterfall in the Smokies is Rainbow Falls. At over 5 miles long, the hike can be strenuous to get there because it has over 1,500 feet of elevation gain. But all of that struggle is worth it. True to its name, it's common to witness a rainbow mist when the sun is shining. Of course, you can't forget the other great waterfalls in the park, including Ramsey Cascades, Hen Wallow Falls, Cataract Falls, and Mingo Falls, to name a few. Take a drive along the Blue Ridge Parkway. While most of the Blue Ridge Parkway resides outside of Great Smoky Mountains National Park, it's still something you should do while in the area. The Blue Ridge Parkway is one of the most famous scenic routes in the United States. It stretches 469 miles from Shenandoah National Park in Virginia to the entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. If you were to do the entire drive without stops, it would take about 11 hours. Now, in our opinion, fall is the best time to do the scenic drive. Over 100 species of trees are native to the area, and each one changes to a unique shade of yellow, orange, red, or purple during autumn. There are several great viewpoints along the way where you can stop and take photos or simply enjoy the view. One stop you won't want to miss is Looking Glass Falls, which is in the Pittsga National Forest just outside the park. While you're driving, don't forget to make a stop at the Newfound Gap. It's the lowest pass in the park, sitting at just 5,046 feet. The dramatic shifts in the scenery as you travel through the pass are astonishing, with views of various forest ecosystems. As you climb up to 3,000 feet, differing trees from hardwoods to pine and oak to firs and evergreens can be seen. Depending on the time of year of your trip, you'll have a much higher likelihood of seeing snow in the Newfound Gap, since it is much cooler than the surrounding area. As you explore Newfound Gap, you'll find beautiful scenic views from parking areas to allow for maximum nature immersion. Additionally, a portion of the Appalachian Trail crosses over Newfound Gap Road, so you can take a quick hike up and down the well-traveled trail. The hikes, scenic drives, and waterfalls within Great Smoky Mountains National Park are renowned for their beauty. This park is the perfect destination for families and leisurely travelers who want to view wildlife and get up close and personal with nature without traveling too far from their hometowns. Whether you're looking to go for a scenic drive, view some historical buildings, or take a walk on the Appalachian Trail, there's something to do for everyone. When it's time to grab a bite to eat, head out to the nearby towns of Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, or Bryson City. While packing for your trip, be sure to bring some sturdy hiking shoes because of the slippery and rocky terrain. You can also expect to encounter plenty of waterfalls and river crossings, as well as other hikers. This is the most popular park in America, after all.